So let's answer the question. Do black people love watermelon disproportionately to other people? Or
I don't think so.
everybody loves watermelon.
Yeah.
And so where does the racist trope come from?
I was going to ask you that.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Let's talk about it. Hi. Welcome to the Modern Waiter Podcast. I'm Marlon Joseph, the Modern Waiter, where we discuss all things restaurant business. Learn something. Laugh at something. On today's episode, we celebrate National Watermelon Day. But first, the intro.
Tired of working deadbeat jobs for lame pay. I'm tired of getting fired and hired the same day. If you know the rules of the game, then
As usual, I'm joined by my good friend Danny Davila.
What's up, people?
Depending on when this show comes out, August 3rd is National Watermelon Day.
Yes.
Do you like watermelon?
I don't dislike it.
Oh, okay. You're neutral.
Yeah.
Okay. I recently, within the past, I'd say 8 months or so, I've been getting into watermelon.
Okay.
I have been juicing it, so to speak.
Okay.
I put it in a blender.
Yeah.
And then I strain it, and that's my drink.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
refreshing, though.
It is super refreshing. And so as we go through this show, we're going to talk about the history of watermelon and a little facts about watermelon. It's a watermelon show.
I like it.
Oddly enough, it's considered both a fruit and a vegetable. And I'll explain why.
Okay.
Somehow it's a part of the gourd family or similar to the vegetables like cucumber, squash, and
Could
pumpkin.
the season
and
look like
pumpkins.
that? Yeah.
I don't understand how fruits have seeds, but vegetables like that are vegetables. I don't get
Yeah.
I thought,
Exactly.
yeah. So it's widely considered a fruit, and somehow it's a vegetable at the same time. So mind blown. I don't get it.
Boom.
Here's the first thing that was interesting for me to learn is that the rind of a watermelon is edible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're supposed to wash the outside of the watermelon, which I've never done. I'm going to
Yeah.
start doing it now. But the idea is if there's pesticides or dirt on the outside and you cut into it, you're introducing that into
the inside. Makes
into the
sense.
flesh. And it makes sense. It makes sense now, but I've not done it to date.
Okay.
Is wash the outside of a watermelon. We don't eat the rind.
Yeah.
It requires cooking. Some, like in China, will do it like bamboo shoots.
Okay.
They'll stir fry it and things like that. I'm thinking that might be. I can imagine that it's
Flavorful?
crunchy, and I don't know. I've never even heard of anybody that ate the rind of the watermelon.
You know, China, they eat everything, though.
That's true. You're
From the
not
rooter
lying.
to the tutor.
Or they put it in stews.
Yeah.
And so I'm also surprised to learn that seedless watermelons aren't genetically modified.
Oh, really?
They're achieved by hybridization, which means they're crossbred with other plants or gourds or whatever.
Is the seedless watermelon like a female?
That I don't know. So it says a perfectly natural phenomenon that farmers can nevertheless capitalize on. A couple decades ago, seedless watermelons were hard to find, but as they make up around 85% of those sold in the U.S., are seedless watermelons. So they just hybridize and they get the seedless watermelon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I prefer it with the seeds. Only because
You know what you're getting.
I know what I'm getting. I don't trust anything that doesn't have. I'm like, if they don't have seeds, where they come from?
Exactly.
So, you ever try to get a seeded grape? You can't find seeded grapes. Nowhere. So I don't understand how natural that could be. However, the white seeds in seedless watermelons are apparently actually the seed coats, and they're perfectly. There's no seed inside of them, and they're perfectly edible.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I always wondered how.
I still see seeds.
I still see stuff.
Yeah.
You want them. It's like a technicality, but I don't want stuff. I don't want to have anything to spit out. So now
Yeah.
you tell me I could eat them? No, buddy.
Doesn't sound right still.
It don't sound right. Would you like to hazard a guess as to which state has the watermelon as its state vegetable?
State vegetable, watermelon. Maybe Alabama?
Oklahoma.
Okay. They're not that far apart, right?
No, they're not that far
Yeah.
apart, but I would think like something like the Carolinas or something
Yeah, somewhere like that, yeah.
You know, I was surprised. And it was a silly, it was, as I read, it said, why not as a state fruit? The state fruit was already claimed.
Mm-hmm.
So they claimed that as their state vegetable. Apparently giving credence to the fact that
Yeah.
it could be both. I don't know how it could be both, but
It is what it is.
you're lukewarm on watermelon, so you see it at the store. You don't necessarily buy them.
No, I mean, it would have to be one of those kind of things where like somebody asks for it and I'll eat it,
Okay.
but I'm not going out my way to buy it now.
And when you say somebody like, where did you encounter your last watermelon that you ate?
A barbecue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good barbecue.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's out. It's easy. It's outdoors, light. It's it's refreshing.
Oh, most definitely.
You get some fresh cut. You get the watermelon, leave in the fridge. It gets nice and cold. You bring it out. You're out in the heat. It's delicious.
Makes a great margarita.
It makes a phenomenal margarita.
Actually, that could be something for my watermelon juice.
Yeah.
Is messing it up with some alcohol.
Yeah. A little puree and a little loving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save a little wedge for the garnish.
I like where your head's at.
Oh my goodness. How have I not done that to
I don't
date?
know. Especially been using watermelon for the last almost year.
Well, I also haven't been drinking that much.
Yeah, true.
Only this last couple weeks I started drinking.
Get back into your.
Yeah. I got to cut down again.
You got to prep. You got a trip coming up in a couple months.
That's true. That is true. In October.
Yeah.
So then we're going to Nashville. So then we're going to be reaching out to the audience because whenever we travel,
Yeah, we
do a podcast.
Absolutely.
So then we're going to be looking to do some podcasts. Least of all, we'd do it with ourselves, but if we meet somebody cool and something that
Absolutely.
we can,
If you're in the Nashville area, you listen to the show, reach out to us.
yes,
Let us know where to go. Let us know if we can maybe do a shift drink somewhere.
yes,
Give us some options.
give us some options. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at the Modern Waiter Podcast or themodernwaiter@gmail.com. Hit us up, hook us up with the info.
For sure. You need it.
Now, I'll tell you how to pick a watermelon because
Okay.
I actually buy watermelon.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do whenever I go, I slap the butt a little bit. You want to feel you want it to feel dense.
Another reason why I don't even buy them is because they're so big.
They are big.
You know what I mean? So it's just me. Mm-hmm. Like my daughter really doesn't eat like watermelon and stuff like that. So I have no reason to buy something that big.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. What I end up doing after I bring it home, a big watermelon will do me like 3 or 4 sessions.
Okay.
So I'll cut a piece of the first cap, and then I used to core it out, which is more of a pain in the ass. I just peel it,
Okay.
throw it in the blender, but not on high, on like a medium or low, and then I'll strain it, and then that'll be my juice.
Nice.
And so I don't sit there and eat the watermelon for whatever reason, and then I'll put plastic wrap over it, and I'll stand it up in the fridge. I'll make
Okay.
sure that, I pick a side that I can, lean it up in the fridge. And then I'll go in again, and then I'll go
Yeah.
again.
So and how much does that third usually yield you?
A lot.
More than a glass?
It's a lot. Oh, more than a glass.
Oh, okay.
If you're talking glasses, it's about 3 glasses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'll just throw the glasses in the fridge, and I'll down them. It's so delicious.
Yeah.
I just finished the last of it today. So I got to go back to the store. And picking watermelon, you want it to feel heavy for its size. You pick it up and you imagine. I roll it over, and the underbelly should have a yellowish hue to it, like
Okay.
yellowish color, I should say. And the idea is, as it ripens in the sun, that belly never sees
The sun.
So that is an indicator of ripeness as it just sits there.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to tap it, and it should feel. And it's full of water, but there's also a lot of flesh in there, and there's a hollow sound to it. It
Yeah.
sounds kind of counterintuitive, but there's a hollow sound to it. Now the next two are a little bit different. The stem where it's been picked, I want it to be brown.
Okay.
Because as it matures on the vine, if you cut it and it's green, it hasn't been fully ripened. And finally, the opposite side to the stem, I call the belly button, it should be as tiny as possible. If it's a little bit bigger, it just hasn't really grown and that little spot turns small. So those are my indicators for picking a good.
Wow, he gave you the tools to succeed.
And man, like you said, they're so big.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't fit usually into the grocery sacks.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to bring it out from the car on its own.
You're holding it.
You're holding it. That's a big ass baby.
That is a big ass baby.
And so, interestingly enough, the first recorded watermelon harvest occurred nearly 5,000 years ago in Egypt. Where is the number one producer of watermelons? Not necessarily for export or anything. Who produces the most watermelons? What nation? What country?
I have no idea. It's not us, right?
Hazard a guess.
South America?
China.
Really?
China number one.
Oh my God.
And guess the USA number
10.
ranks 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think the U.S. would be number one.
Well, I mean, because when you said it, it made me think like, well, he can't be number one if he's.
True. Sounds like a trick question.
Yeah.
Yes. And so the origins of the watermelon have been traced back to the deserts of southern Africa, where it still grows wild today. So southern Africa, I mean, there are thousands of varieties of watermelon.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of interesting that,
So how do watermelons grow?
meaning
Like,
they grow on a vine.
okay.
Yeah, they grow on a vine, but they're so heavy that the vine's on the
ground?
on the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of like a pumpkin, basically.
Okay.
So same. However, the pumpkin stem is at the top, and the watermelons is on the side.
Oh,
So
okay.
the watermelon kind of grows like that.
Like leaning.
Yeah. No, it's on the ground. Like not leaning. It's perfectly happy this way, but the vine is on this end.
Gotcha.
Instead of like
on the top.
Instead of on the top. So that's how they grow. I've never attempted to grow from seed. I should do that. I can only imagine they need a fair amount of sun.
Yeah,
We're
sure.
getting a lot of water.
We are.
I'll look into it because
We are
I
getting a
grow
lot of water.
pineapples.
Yeah, I love pineapples.
We are growing we're having a lot of water right
Yeah,
now.
a lot of water.
A lot of rain.
Oh my God.
It's nuts.
And there's parts of the country that are droughting, and we are flooding.
Really? This place, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, like the Southwest is pretty bad.
Oh, okay. We're lucky to have the water.
Yeah.
You can't mention watermelon in the U.S. without
The stereotype?
the stereotype. Without the stereotype. So let's answer the question. Do black people love watermelon disproportionately to other people? Or
I don't think so.
everybody loves watermelon.
Yeah.
And so where does the racist trope come from?
I was going to ask you that.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Let's talk about it. The emancipation of slaves. So let's even go before that. There are some slave owners that allowed their slaves to grow watermelon,
Okay.
to grow their own and sell for profit.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so when you're moving on into the emancipation, so what's that? After the Civil War.
1860 something.
Okay.
65, 66, somewhere around there.
Civil War, slaves are emancipated. Many slaves grew watermelon and produced watermelon for profit. And it became a symbol of their freedom.
Yeah.
Of their freedom and independence. The trope came shortly after that, where the idea of the white Southerners
Yeah.
being threatened by that started to propagate the idea that watermelon and black people with laziness and childishness.
Okay.
And so the trope came shortly after that to really,
Yeah.
that is very interesting because I, for a long time, never ate watermelon. It wasn't because, I think for me, I wasn't necessarily exposed to a lot of watermelon. I grew up in the islands, and
Yeah.
then from there to...
Where pineapples are prevalent.
Yeah, where pineapples are prevalent. Love pineapples. From there to New York, Buffalo, and New York City. And so it's not really a thing.
It's a summertime thing, but
watermelon.
at most.
Yeah, for sure. So then I took a picture with that Phil took, and I was eating watermelon at the job. It was on a brunch or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was a big old wedge, and I thought it was funny. But then I felt odd because of the stereotype. But it didn't hurt my feelings or anything because I encouraged him to take the picture and things like that. I didn't post it. I'll find it and post it. But so then it's odd how we have these associations and don't know where they come from.
Yeah.
It's actually coming from a place of empowerment to a place of embarrassment almost. Where you
Where the words, they came out of empowerment. Being able to make money on your own, being able to be an
Yes.
entrepreneur.
Yes.
And they switched it to make it look ugly.
Yes, absolutely. And this isn't the first time that
That's happened. Absolutely.
that watermelon's been used to misrepresent people because the Europeans did it with Arab people. The modern European imagination was typical of a watermelon eater was Italian or an Arab peasant. So that's really powerful to understand where certain things come from. So there is a story of his name is Israel Campbell. He was a slave. And slaves in the cotton picking era had quotas to meet to be able to weigh their bags or bushels of cotton. He would place a watermelon in the bottom of his sack
Oh, and this is how he got away with it?
to boost his
weight.
To boost his weight, and then he will take it out and eat it to get rid of the evidence.
That's brilliant.
So after it was weighed,
Yeah.
obviously they'll find a friggin' watermelon in the thing.
Yeah.
And so he started to pass that along to other slaves that would continually to take a whipping for
producing less cotton.
for picking less cotton, and they would do the same as well. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying our show, definitely give us a like. And if there are some facts about watermelon that we're missing here, definitely let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, or you could reach out to me by email, themodernwaiter@gmail.com, or at the Modern Waiter Podcast. Follow me on Instagram. Always good to have you in the comments. I'll let you guys go on this. My time in Buffalo was mostly my early adulthood, coming out of college, and then owned a business before I moved down here. We threw a party, and everything was all about alcohol.
Yeah.
Like we had rum cake, we had jungle juice punch. So
Did you fill it up fill the watermelon up with?
if you tap the watermelon, cut a hole in the top or the side, however you want to orient it, and then pour the alcohol in, it will mix with the...
It'll absorb.
Yeah, it'll absorb and dispense. It's pretty freaking cool.
Really?
Yeah, it really is cool. Too bad we messed it up with cheap vodka because we couldn't afford anything else.
Well, that's college.
Yeah, that is college. So definitely, we do this for you each and every week. We're grateful to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, and feel free to subscribe and like and give us a review.
Absolutely.
I'm Marlon Joseph, the Modern Waiter.
I'm Danny Villain. Subscribe, people.
We'll see you next time.
I got to try that watermelon juice.
Yes, I'll make you some.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Definitely.
My
We'll
man.
see you next time.
Later.
You see, all my peoples eat chicken and watermelon. Talk broken English and drug selling. We need to get back to what we call hip hop